For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian, and this is the weekly news recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorials.com, memorials that matter, and Lilligards, your local Mahindra dealer and on Highway 13 West Wahpeton. I'm here at the I-94 EMR Speedway in Fergus Falls, where the 2024 Speedway Motors WISSOTA 100 continues later tonight, followed by a musical performance by the Honey Badgers. Last Friday, Margaret Haviland was sentenced to 5 years of probation after pleading guilty to 2 of 70 charges filed against her for tax-related crimes. An investigation was conducted in which investigators found that between May 2017 and May 2022, Haviland operating Granny's Pantry had made approximately $894,000 in taxable sales and failed to report around $854,000 of those sales by underreporting or failing to file. According to an estimate by the Minnesota Department of Revenue, Haviland evaded paying around $55,000 in income tax to the department. Including late fees and interest, she owed the state of Minnesota $174,000 for both individual income and sales tax. Back in July, Haviland reached a plea agreement with prosecutors, where she would plead to 1 charge of failure to pay or collect individual income tax and 1 charge of failure to pay or collect tax. Haviland was sentenced to 5 years of probation that, if successfully completed, will turn the felony charges into misdemeanor convictions. She has also been ordered to pay $145,500 in restitution, almost $30,000 less than what the department estimated she owes. At around 1:09 Saturday afternoon, the Minnesota State Patrol responded to a single vehicle crash at an I-94 entry ramp in Fergus Falls. According to officials, the minivan was traveling on the I-94 on-ramp from Highway 210 when it lost control and rolled into the ditch. The 39-year-old female driver and her 3 juvenile passengers from Fergus Falls suffered non-life-threatening injuries and were transported to Lake Region Healthcare for treatment. The State Patrol reports that it is unknown if alcohol was a factor in the crash. The Adult Physical Therapy Department at Lake Region Healthcare has a new entrance and expanded location as of September 12th, thanks to some reconfiguring and remodeling done in response to patient feedback. The newly opened space allows for direct patient access from the south side of the hospital building. Patients will be able to drive into the parking lot just off Alcott Avenue to access 19 designated parking spaces and use the door labeled W to enter the building. Directly inside the door, they'll find a new physical therapy waiting area twice as big as the previous location. Patients coming for their first physical therapy appointment will be directed to enter at the hospital's main entrance to register at the switchboard. All subsequent appointments can use the convenient south side entrance. On Monday, the Becker County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a motor vehicle crash on County Highway 56 near Little Toad Lake, east of Detroit Lakes. Upon arrival, officers discovered that the vehicle had been heading west on County Highway 56 when it left the roadway, entering the south ditch before rolling and striking a power pole. The driver, 74-year-old Matthew John Mess of rural Frazee, was found in the vehicle and was pronounced deceased at the scene. The identity of the driver and victim of the fatal crash near Pelican Lake last week has been released. At around 8:53 on the evening of September 4th, the Ottertail County Sheriff's Department responded to a motor vehicle crash on County Highway 20 in rural Dunn Township. When first responders arrived, life-saving measures were performed but were unsuccessful. The driver and lone occupant of the vehicle, 50-year-old Christopher Berger of Barnesville, was pronounced deceased at the scene. Alcohol is believed to be a factor. The man accused of burglarizing a West Lost Lake cabin on Mother's Day pled guilty on Wednesday. 40-year-old Ryan Craig Bone of Fargo was spotted driving by the cabin in a boat by a surveillance camera. The owner of the cabin reported multiple pieces of equipment stolen with an estimated value of $1,800. Bone's uncle, who lives at a neighboring cabin, told officials he had sold the boat to Bone before the incident. Fargo police were able to get in touch with Bone's girlfriend, who told officials that he had returned home that weekend with the items that were reported stolen. Bone was taken into Ottertail County custody August 23rd. A Fargo man involved in a chase with the Fergus Falls Police Department in August pled guilty to all charges on Wednesday. On August 18th, Fergus Falls police officers reported to a theft at Dunham Sports. The suspects, later identified as 29-year-old Ross Gladue and 41-year-old Tricia Lynn Petratz, had stolen 2 crossbows worth around $1,200 the day before and had been spotted again shortly before officials were called. Officers quickly located the suspect vehicle driven by Gladue and attempted a traffic stop. Gladue did not stop for police and gave chase for about 1.7 miles. Officers deployed stop sticks and performed multiple pit maneuvers before the vehicle was boxed in. Both suspects were arrested and booked into Ottertail County Jail. Gladue pled guilty on Wednesday to felony theft and fleeing in a motor vehicle. His sentencing is scheduled for October 21st. Patrak's next court appearance is set for September 23rd. At around 7 o'clock Thursday morning, a Minnesota state trooper made a traffic stop at the Big Chief truck stop. According to officials, the vehicle had 2 occupants and both were arrested. A 24-year-old male from Alexandria was arrested for first-degree drug possession, and a 23-year-old female from Fergus Falls was arrested for obstructing legal process. Both were booked into the Ottertail County Detention Facility. Before kicking off the new school year, students painted a white stencil of otters with an important Save the Lake message near storm drain inlets. Bella Harrington, Caitlin Yavaro, and Maggie Proudfoot did the project on August 30th as part of the City of Fergus Falls' work to reduce water pollution and bring awareness to residents that what is dumped into a storm drain pollutes our water sources. Much of the pollution in area streams and lakes comes from common everyday materials like household chemicals, fertilizers, pesticides, gasoline, used motor oil, used antifreeze, and litter. These substances are washed by rainwater from our streets, yards, driveways, and parking lots into storm drain inlets. Contrary to what many people think, these storm drains don't lead to wastewater treatment plants. They carry untreated stormwater directly into area lakes and streams. Deliberate dumping of hazardous materials into storm sewers makes the pollution problem worse. Motor oil is often dumped down storm drains, yet just 1 quart can ruin the quality of 250,000 gallons of water. Dumping oil and other hazardous substances is illegal in Fergus Falls. Residents are encouraged to recycle these materials instead. The stenciled message Save the Lake is there to remind citizens not to dump waste into storm sewers or contribute more pollutants to ordinary stormwater runoff by littering, over-fertilizing, or sweeping yard debris into the street. This has been the Weekly News Recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorials.com, memorials that matter, and Lilligards, your local Mahindra dealer on Highway 13 West, Wahpeton. For KBRFradio.com news, I'm Derek Sidian. Subscribe to the KBRF Radio YouTube channel and tune in every Friday at 12:30 to stay up to date with local news. Get more news at KBRFradio.com or on the Fergus Now app. Sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.